Hey heathens, we're doing the deconversion story of Matt602. Matt writes, I was born in Oxnard, California, and for the first 6 years of my life I lived with my mom's parents who were Christians. From the time I can remember, we went to church every Sunday and holiday celebrated. Which wasn't that bad, I guess, because as a kid we didn't do ceremonies, we just had a little group thing. Whatever you want to call it, but when I was 6, we moved to Phoenix, Arizona, and my parents continued bringing us to church. My dad didn't go. He was too busy getting high and throwing his life away. But my mom took us, and when I was 9, they got a divorce, and I guess that made me think there was no God. I was still young then, and I didn't know about atheism or anything like that. I just figured either God wasn't real or he didn't like me. At the time, I didn't know that he was druggy. After that, I stopped going to the groups in church and started going to the masses. And I read the Bible. That's about the time I started to see the real religion. Not all the stuff I was taught as a kid. That's when I started looking into all the bad and horrible people that were Christians. And I still believed, but I didn't want to be a part of it. You could have called me agnostic. So when I was about 13, I classified myself as anti-God. And I started to look more towards Satanism. Which, when I look back now, I think it was just as ridiculous as Christianity. And I just never fit into that, so it didn't last long. Then I learned about evolution in school. That's about the time period where I said to myself, this makes so much more sense than intelligent design. And I looked more into it and compared the two concepts. And I just couldn't bring myself to believe in evolution. There was not enough logic stored in it. I mean, a tree of intelligence? That's just not normal. You know what I mean? So I went with evolution. And I was 14 at the time, so I focused on disproving God. And I've spent 2 years trying to show my mom and family that they were worshiping a non-existent being. But now I focus more on the bad that religion brings rather than it not being real. I'm 16 now and I deny the existence of Jesus or any God. Oh, and I forgot to mention, my mom remarried when I was 11, and my new dad is a lot better than my biological one. He adopted me and my older brother when I was 13, and now we couldn't be happier. That has nothing to do with religion, but I didn't want you to think I was a whiny little emo with no dad.